My name is Jamie Lee, and today I'll be doing a review of The Boys, episode 8 of season 4, which is the finale. I can't believe how quick those 8 episodes came and went. Almost as quick as A Train Flies By is as quick as they went. This episode specifically was insane. So much was going on, and I feel like nothing was really closed off. We didn't really get a finale. We got little pieces of openings. Man, I feel like Tech Night right now. We got little openings into season 5, which is going to be huge. It is going to be diabolical. And for that reason, I loved this episode for what it was. It was a setup for the next season, which is going to be diabolical. So that is what I loved it for. Plus, all the little moments in this that I really was shocked by. There was a lot of things that I really didn't expect. So I really liked that aspect of this episode. So let's dig into it a little bit. So we start this episode with Annie's shapeshifter. We know that the real Annie is being held captive. And this shapeshifter was sent in by Sage to be a decoy, to take on someone's identity, take on their memories, and for that person to then off Singer, the president. So Annie seemed to be the perfect candidate for that because she was so broken. So that's why she chose her. So this shapeshifter, she goes and proposes to Hughie. She deletes all the files that they have on Neuman, all the dirt that they have. She sleeps with Hughie and then returns to Starlight and tells her all this stuff, like degrading her about not being able to use her powers and humiliating her by talking about that she slept with her man and she proposed to him and all these things, really horrible things. And we know that that's to motivate her to use her powers. We know that that is where they're going with that. But oh man, I was a little bit sad for Hughie. I'm not going to lie. Hughie has been through a really tough time in this season specifically. The stuff to do with his mother, he had to off his father, which was absolutely heartbreaking. And in the very next episode, he was used and abused in ways that I don't even want to imagine again with Tech Night, because that was just, again, more heartbreaking. And now I just feel like they're really giving him a punch in the guts because, this is a beautiful moment. When somebody proposes to somebody, it's a really beautiful moment. And that was sort of taken off him by the fake Annie Starlight proposing to him, and he had that opportunity taken off him where he could have that opportunity to do that. And then straight after that, she just starts going at him like, how could you not recognize that it was me? And then he was just getting in trouble and all sorts of stuff was going on with Hughie. And I just think, what did he do so wrong? Why is he just getting like all the punches thrown at him in this season? It's quite sad. But anyway, so that's what happened with them too. The next thing I want to talk about is when Homelander finds the picture of Becca and Butcher in Ryan's backpack. And I'm not going to lie, I think that this is the first time I've seen Homelander unhinged. We've all seen him do some terrible things. But when he was gritting his teeth and he was telling his son to come here, I was petrified because this whole season I was kind of rooting for, like Homelander versus Ryan. Let's go. Let's bring it. Dad versus son. Who's stronger? Who would win? Blah, blah, blah. And when I saw Homelander doing that, I was scared. I was like, this is scary because there's emotion behind it. He wants to be a father. He wanted to have a father. He wanted a family. So the fact that this is the first time that we've really seen him angry at Ryan, we've really seen him hurt over something that Ryan had done, I was petrified. And then Ryan just leaves. So I was like, okay, bomb defused, we are good to go. Of course, that leaves Homelander a little bit angry, but he knows that boys need their space, which is good job, Homelander. You're learning something. He goes and does the show with Firecracker where they bring on Victoria Neuman. And again, I was absolutely blown away by what happened here. I did not expect Homelander to out Victoria Neuman like that and just expose her secret of her being a soup. And when he fired a little, like, it was just a teaser, I know, like he was just singeing her. But when he fired shots at her, I was stunned. Firstly, because I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Secondly, because Claudia Dumont's performance there was amazing. That look that she gave of being scared, of being humiliated, of being angry, her face, her movements, it was perfect, that performance. So after Homelander outed her on national TV for everybody to know that she is a soup, He had a conversation with her about her becoming president. He said he wants an all soup supremacy, all soups to run the country, and she's the prime person for this presidential role. We then head down to the bunker where shapeshifter Annie is with the boys, and they're trying to protect Singer. They're in this underground bunker, and they're like, all right, we need to make sure that this shapeshifter is not in here. But she is in there. And eventually they come to find that it is Annie, who is the decoy. And these scenes here were, I think, a little bit fun because I like seeing lots of action. And as horrible as it sounds, please don't judge me for this, but I really like seeing some of the really cool kills that they do. Like when she just threw that person onto the hook and all you see is the stuff dripping down. I was like, wow, that was a cool kill. And then after it, I was like, thinking that is horrible. But I really like how creative they are with coming up with some of the deaths in this show, is what I'm trying to say there. Anyway, moving on from that. So I really enjoyed watching that side of things, but I'm not gonna lie, I was really disappointed, as I have been with this entire season, as how underwhelming they're using Kimiko. She is such a weapon, and this shapeshifter soup can just twist her neck and that be the end of her for a little minute. It's sort of like they just push her to the side when they don't need her, like, all right, let's just put her to sleep. Let's, push this absolute weapon of a soup and let's just leave her to the side while we do our stuff, and then she can wake back up again. She's really, really powerful, and I really want to see more from her and what she can do, because she is a boss and I really want to see it. Anyway, we don't get to see it because we see any Starlight come in and she's bashing this woman, and you've got this cat fight going on. They save the president, hooray, and Annie gets her arc, I guess you could say, like, wrapped up a little bit. But when that attack on Singer fails, Victoria Neuman phones up Homelander, and she is just going to town on him, saying, I knew you couldn't do it, and where's Sage? We need Sage. And obviously he's ticked off by that because he wanted to be the mastermind behind things, and he's like, Sage isn't even here anymore. Getting all frustrated, he threatens her, and he threatens her daughter. And then after that, Neuman phones Hughie, and these scenes here were remarkable. I felt so much emotion from Victoria Neuman. She just wanted out. You felt what she was saying. Her performance was beautiful. Hughie's performance was beautiful. And together they just work so perfectly. Like, I think it's because that they're in a relationship outside of the filming, because I just really sense warmth between them. Like, I always feel so genuine when they have scenes together, and that scene wasn't even together, it was over the phone, but I just feel it's very authentic when they act together. Anyway, she convinces Hughie that she wants to jump ship and join the boys and get out and get away from Homelander. Meanwhile, at the hospital, we have Billy Butcher coming to terms with the fact that he is on death row. He doesn't look to be getting out of this, getting away from this sickness, getting a cure, things like that. And the phone call that he made to Hughie was heartbreaking. It was so beautiful to see him emotional, to see him come to terms with things, and to be remorseful for the things that he's done in the past. And I get like emotional just even thinking about it, like the abuse that he suffered from his dad, and him trying to protect his brother and things like that. Like, he's got a lot of regret despite the war stuff, despite the Ryan stuff, despite the soup stuff. He's had a really tough life, and coming to terms with that made me like, I just want him to have a little bit longer to live. It was really upsetting. So to see Ryan come and have that sort of family moment where they're playing games and, everything's just, I don't want to say like a normal family, but it was really beautiful like that. It was nice. And then you have Grace Mallory, Aunt Grace, who comes in, and I'm sorry, but to quote Taylor Swift, play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, right? She thought that the right thing to do would be to tell Ryan that, your father's bad because he did this. Your father's bad because he did this. Your father is terrible and evil and all these horrible things. And I get what she was trying to get at there, but Ryan is a teenager who is not a normal teenager. He's dealing with a lot of emotions. He's dealing with a lot of powers, a lot of hormones just from boy stuff, let alone soup stuff added on top of that. He's so mixed with everything that he would be thinking and feeling with his mum not being around, people telling him that his dad is evil, and people telling him that his other dad, let's say, is about to die. Like, he's got so much going on, the poor little thing. And this whole season has been, is he going to be good? Is he going to be bad? We were sort of off and on with that for this whole season. So to then just like feed this kid all this information at once about how terrible his dad is, and to then say, well, we're kind of holding you here against your own will. Butcher didn't want that, and Butcher was trying to go the right way about it because he had complete faith in Ryan. And Mallory's just like, yeah, well, we can hold you here. I'm going to press the button in a minute. And Ryan just smashes her one. But the scary thing here is that after he kills her, he reminded me of Homelander. He had no remorse. He looked at her. This is a lady, might I add, not the guy that he just threw against the wall, the stunt man that he'd accidentally killed and was remorseful for that. This was somebody that cared for him. This was somebody that looked after him with his mum and protected him from the outside world and all these things. And he just looked at her lying on the ground and walked off. Absolutely no remorse, absolutely no emotion yet. Sure, he might feel regret and things later, but that moment right there was all that it took for Billy Butcher to realize you can't trust Soups. No soup is safe. He had so much faith in Ryan being good, so much faith. And to see that and to see him walk off, that was the moment where he knew, okay, I need this virus. Let's go. Let's team up with Kessler and kill them all. All the soups, just get rid of them all. That includes his friends. That includes him. Let's just be done with it. Get rid of this evil that has created these monsters, or in his eyes, that's what I think he thinks. He goes to the boys who are having their, weekly hangout, their weekly meeting. Victoria Neuman is there saying all these things, I'll exchange this for this, you look after Zoe and I'll do this, blah, blah, blah. All these deals that have gone on this entire season. And then we have Billy Butcher come in, and I was not expecting this. No. And his tentacles come out, which we knew that he would have some sort of tentacles because we saw with the rabbit what went on, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. Great, we knew that. But he wraps them around her eyes, so smart, so that she can't pop his head or anyone's head, knocks his daughter out so she doesn't see it, and then absolutely just tears her apart. Literally apart into two damn pieces like nothing. And I can see how this would make a lot of fans very mad because I love Claudia Doumit. I really do. I think she's a great actress, and this episode specifically and the farm episode, those two episodes there were probably my favorite performances of her throughout the whole entire show. I think she is a really good actor. But at the same time, for the story to move forward, I really think she needed to die. I just think, where could she have fit in? Where could she have gone from here? She doesn't want to work with Homelander, so that cuts her off with ties there. And she wants to join the boys and jump ship to the good side. But the boys already have two Soups working for them. And sure, she could probably come work with them. But again, she would just be a puppet. And that's exactly what she didn't want to be for Homelander. So for her to join the boys and then go and be a puppet and just work for the boys as well, it's kind of, what's the point? There's no point for her character to continue. And I feel horrible saying that, but that's honestly how I feel. I feel like her time was up. And I feel like it's her daughter's chance to shine, because we do see her daughter going down the exact same route that she went down. And I think that we're going to see her somewhere along the lines in Gen V. So I was very shocked by that, what happened there, but I also really liked it. Like, I really think that her time was up, and that was a really shocking way to go about saying goodbye to her character. Also, I feel like that scene there really summed up Butcher's arc, because as I said earlier with Ryan, he really had faith that Ryan was good and he was going to do right in the world because Becca said so, and Becca wanted all this positive and beautiful light and happiness and la 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 la, everything do right. And for Ryan not to follow that path, I feel like Butcher's mentality was, why should we believe her? She screwed us over before. Why would I believe her? No, I'm not taking any chances. I'm not taking any deals, and just went. And I feel like that was a perfect way to end Butcher's arc for that part of the episode anyway. Frenchie and Kimiko, I want their love. And we got it. And I'm very, very glad that we got it. Thank you so much to the writers for giving us the Frenchie and Kimiko kissing scene and the I was afraid I wasn't good enough scene, but you are good enough. There's no one better than you scene. Perfect, beautiful. To then moments later, be just ripped from me. So we have Kate come in, and Kate does her thing from Gen V, and she just touches somebody and she can manipulate what they're thinking to think something else. And Frenchie just follows her. Off he goes into the van, and we get this most heartbreaking scene of Kimiko, and she's fighting with Sam, and then she's just screaming when she's held back because obviously he's so strong, and like he's pretty much her, but he can't regenerate. So not as good as her, but he's definitely on a strength level as good as her. And he's holding her back, and all she is screaming is no, no, no. Oh my God. I just wanted to cry. I was like, they finally get together. They finally feel comfortable, and they want to like leave and run away together. And then we get that where he's ripped away from her and she is saying her first words, which is no. Just traumatizing, really. And then we get the scene where Hughie and Starlight are driving off, and they get hit by a van or something like this. And they hop out, and there's Cindy. Remember Cindy from the asylum? I was really, really happy to see her. I'm not going to lie. When the Gen V kids in general came through, I was like, oh, damn. Oh, damn. They are just all puppets for Homelander. They will just do like whatever he says, and soup supremes, and it's terrifying. But I was like, yeah, let's get these kids back. Anyway, bad, but whatever. So Hughie gets taken away. Really? And Starlight flies. Yay, Starlight can fly. Hooray. So Starlight escapes, and Hughie is taken in the van as well. And poor Eminem, he just can't escape these sausages, can he? He always just gets the grossest moments, he mother's milk, poor thing. Anyway, so he gets taken as well. We see Butcher with the virus that Frenchie had made in his hand, heading to what I'm assuming is going to be Homelander, where we're going to get this all-out war. And God, am I ready to see Homelander versus Billy Butcher now that he has powers, now that he has these tentacles that can just rip out of him, and this real sort of dark side that he's tapped into with Kessler being the devil on his shoulder. I'm excited to see that versus Homelander. I really am. Speaking of Homelander, he is practically president now. He can do whatever he wants. He has every soup pretty much under his wing. Sage is back on board saying, bring on season 5. Bring on what you want me to do next. I want a challenge. I want to see if I can do some crazy stuff. And look, I can do some crazy stuff. And that's terrifying to me. What is her motive? That's the scary part. And I said, what if it's just that she's bored? She's so bored of just sitting at home reading books. What if she just wants to actually do, just have some fun with things, screw up a few people's lives, screw up A-Train's life? What if she just wants that? What if she's just a menace? And here in this episode, we have that. She's just like, I could do it. I wanted to see if I could do it, and I can. That's really scary. Anyway, President Homelander, let's say, stumbles across Soldier Boy. Wow. Okay, come on, bring on season 5. But no, we've got a long wait until season 5, which is the most disappointing part about this whole episode, the wait. Yeah, so now we have to wait to see what happens. And I can't wait to chat with my friends and do our weekly panel that we do with the boys wrap up, and talk about predictions and talk about the loose ends, because I just have so many ideas of where they're going to go, but I have also so many questions with storylines that were sort of put in, glossed over. And I know why we glossed over them, because obviously we need the big important moments that I just mentioned in every single point that I just made. But I sort of wanted things to close off a little bit. It wasn't really closed off. And I'm hoping that they're just going to be little openings for season 5, like little teasers as to what is to come in the final season. And, we get this massive, big, diabolical season and fight scenes, and it's going to be go, 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 because I am all for that. But I really did love this finale. I feel like we got a little bit of closure with the direction that they're heading, to do with Ryan, at least anyway, to do with what Homelander's wants are, because really he won. And that's the most saddest part about this episode, is that the bad guy wins. The boys don't win again. Maybe next season, but the boys don't win again. The world's going to turn to shit. kind of like life. But yeah, anyway, I'm excited for season 5 and I can't wait to talk about more about this with my friends in the panel. So make sure you come back to my channel to watch that one when it is up. But in the meantime, let me know in the comment section what you thought about this episode. Were you happy with the finale? Were you not happy? And if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and then head on over to my socials and give me a follow on them as well, please. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.